All right, welcome. This is Jay Allen, and this is Gangster with My Health, okay? Where we talk to people about, the struggle they've been with whatever it is they're going with, and how they have kind of like changed things around it a total 180, and they are like making some amazing progress. So today we got live with us in the building.
It's your girl Kredible, and I'm gonna tell you how I've been getting gangster with my health.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. I see you on Instagram. Tell the people a little bit about what you do. I would just run it all down, but I think you can kind of do a better job on that. So tell me what it's all about.
So what I do on Instagram, basically, I feel like I'm a motivator. I motivate people to get healthy, no matter what your goals is. If it's to lose weight, gain weight, but then we get healthy on a mental aspect and a spiritual aspect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. All right, so let's start it off. I mean, this is like your platform to kind of like tell your story, because there's somebody out there that kind of like has the same story as you, and you can basically pretty much inspire them.
Definitely. So, I mean, I grew up in Connecticut in the New Haven area. Like your most average African American family, you grow up on a lot of processed foods. So, a lot of that stuff is just per se is epigenetics. Like it's in us. That's what we know to eat. Our families, our ancestors, they ate that stuff before us. So, I grew up eating your Captain Crunch, your Pop Tarts, your baked macaroni and cheese, all that good stuff, Salisbury steak. My mom was a working mom, and of course, boxed foods were the easiest thing to feed someone when we're living in a microwave society. So, and as a child, I gained a lot of weight. And as an adult,
let me ask you a question. Like, as a child, having that weight on you, especially being like, a woman, we know sometimes, not even sometimes, a lot of times in society, women are very criticized about the way they look and things like that. And a lot of little girls go through that even at a young age. So tell people about, a little bit about how you felt.
Definitely as a kid at a young age, I can really sit here and say I got made fun of. I got made fun of as a child, in high school, even as an adult. People, they lightweight throw jokes at you.
Right.
And it affects your mental. So yes, was I one of those people that were made fun of and it affected my mental? Yes. So shout out to all the people that made fun of me, because you made me a better person.
So look at me now. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So, I mean, how long did you actually carry that weight with you? When was the point where you kind of like made changes and kind of took a look at yourself?
I was like in my mid-20s, maybe. Mid-20s, late 20s. That's when I was like, yo, something has to change. I was just unhappy. Everybody puts up a front like, oh, I'm happy. Nah, it's a difference between happy and you wake up genuinely just happy about life. Yeah, it's two different aspects. People be like, oh yeah, I'm happy now.
Hey, but you know what? Listen, not even that. Just also, I remember just being unhappy and then just not being able to feel like you're able to do the things that you want to do. Or not inspired to do the things you want to do. Because before it happens with the physical, it has to be like a mental change within yourself. Whether you get fed up, whatever that is for you to get you kind of like going and charged up. So you said you finally got to that point in like your mid-20s, right?
Yeah, mid-20s. Okay. I finally got to that point, and I was just like, yo, I'm tired. I'm physically tired, but I was mentally just tired of not being that happy person, not doing things that I wanted to do because my weight stopped me, or not shopping where I wanted to shop because I just physically couldn't fit in the clothes. Shopping is supposed to be something enjoyable to the average, not even average, majority women.
Right.
And it wasn't enjoyable to me. It wasn't. And then, came the medical issues, and that was like the big turning point for me, where I was just like, all right, something has to be done.
Right.
I work in the medical field. I need to figure out what am I doing wrong to not be healthy. So that for me was the turning point when I got diagnosed with endometriosis back and I want to say about 2013, 14 maybe. It was around then. It was like early 2000s.
Let me ask you this before we get into the endometriosis. I want you to kind of explain that to the people.
Okay.
For those who may not know what that is, let's talk a little bit about how a lot of times we see other people in our families going through different ailments and things like that. But still, it's hard for us to subconsciously make that change to start eating better or living healthier, or maybe start exercising, just because we're so accustomed to the tradition of the habits, that we've been taught and things like that. So what was like a way for you to actually kind of break out of that?
I mean, with me being diagnosed, and then I had a family member that was diagnosed with cancer. So my aunt was diagnosed with cancer. She passed away. And for me, that was just like, yo, we got to do something. I got to do something. If I don't want my life to transpire with getting cancer and just being chronically sick and ill, I have to make the right decisions to kind of turn my life around and kind of say, like, you know what? Yeah, disease runs in my family, but I don't have to be a part of it. It don't run in my family because I have the choice to change the outcome.
Let me say something. You brought up a good point. You said disease, doesn't run in the family. So I saw this meme one time. You probably seen it too.
I've seen the meme.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna let you say it.
It says what? Disease don't run in my family or something like that. It's a couple of memes going around.
The one I saw, it said it's not that disease runs in your family. It's that nobody in your family runs.
That too. I seen that one too. I seen it. It's so many memes about that, but it's just like, yeah, our genetics, we're maybe predisposed to diabetes, hypertension, cancer, whatever, but somebody has to be the
somebody got to break
sheep in the
somebody
got to be the black sheep in the family and be like, yo, we gonna eat these kale collard greens with no bacon, basically.
Right.
And you be like, kale to a black person, they be like, what is he talking about? Honey, what's kale? What's almond milk? Like,
right. But you know what? Like, once you start really getting creative with, food and stuff, like, you can really, I mean, I remember when I first started eating right, I was eating pretty much the same thing, all day, every day. And then when you kind of venture out, you see, I mean, it's so much stuff out there. And I mean, everybody got the damn internet. So it's like Instagram, Pinterest, it's always recipe. I mean, now, wait a minute, hold up. Cauliflower tacos. Now, I'm going to say this, okay?
They the bomb.
Wait a minute, hold up. I tried them 2 times. It was a disaster, okay?
But
mine didn't.
It's technique.
I don't know.
Technique.
I don't know what I did wrong.
Mine
didn't have no flavor. It was straight blendy camps.
Okay, so did you use seasoning? Because you got the thing, you got to season, and sometimes you got to overly season.
Well, see, I use
to get the flavor to come back.
I don't like to use any sodium. If I do,
I don't either.
Pinch, but I can honestly say, like, it just, I don't know what it. Maybe I gotta have somebody else. Maybe it needs a woman's touch. I don't know.
Something.
But
because I've turned cauliflower into amazing things. I mean, I didn't like cauliflower in the beginning. I used to call it white dog shit. I was like, yo, you ain't getting me to eat white dog shit. And people used to be like, what? And I used to pick it off my plate. But now I'm just like, yo, I can make cauliflower ground beef.
Oh.
And yeah, so I have made some dope stuff out of cauliflower.
You're going to have to share that recipe. Where can we find that recipe at, like, later on or something? Can you
it's definitely on my Instagram. The cauliflower nachos is on Instagram.
Okay.
And I mean, it looks like ground beef nachos, but it's cauliflower.
Okay. All right, for sure. All right, let's well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna slide into part 2, and we're gonna let you get into like the endometriosis and explain what that is.